Weather Bureau Pagasa reported a low-pressure area was spotted at 300 kilometers southeast of General Santos City, province of South Cotabato. The regions of Caraga, Davao, Soc-Sargen, Northern Mindanao, and Eastern Visayas will experience cloudy skies with moderate to heavy rain showers and thunderstorms, which may trigger flash floods and landslides. The rest of Mindanao and Visayas will have light to moderate rain showers or thunderstorms. Meantime, Metro Manila, Bicol Region, Cagayan Valley, Calabarzon, and the provinces of Aurora and Quezon will be cloudy with light rains. The rest of the country will have partly cloudy skies with brief light rains. Tuba-Taha Protected Area Management Board disclosed that the U.S. Navy would face charges over the Tuba-Taha Reef damages. Lorraine Mata reports.
The Tuba-Taha Protected Area Management Board, or TPAMB, said on Tuesday that they would charge and fine the United States Navy over the unauthorized entry and damage to Tuba-Taha Reef by its minesweeper USS Guardian. Country President of the World Wildlife Fund and member of TPAMB, Jose Lorenzo Tan, noted that the U.S. Navy would also be fined for the non-payment of conservation fee and obstruction of law enforcement officer. TPAMB further added that the park had suffered physical damage and that after the final damage assessment would serve a formal notice of violation. Tuba-Taha Park Manager Angelic Sonko said the U.S. Navy refused to communicate with the park rangers, instead insisted to bring the complaint to the U.S. Embassy. However, the U.S. Embassy had declined to give comment on the alleged violations. Moreover, a joint task force was already formed Tuesday to fast-track the recovery of the stuck ship, led by the Department of Transportation and Communications Secretary Eduardo Oban Jr. and Philippine Navy's Naval Forces West Commander Commodore Joseph Rustom Peña and Rear Admiral Rodolfo Isorena. Furthermore, the task force Tuba-Taha would meet for the assessment of the extraction of ship, while Filipino and U.S. expert divers had already conducted diving operations to get closer visuals of the situation of the ship, with their initial findings to be submitted Wednesday to the Philippine Coast Guard. For GNN, Lorraine Mata, News Force.
Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago said she would conduct her own probe into the millions of funds Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile gave to his allies in the Senate in 2012. Precious Aquino reports.
Despite hypertension and bone marrow problems, Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago is not yet done with her battle with Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile. Santiago reiterated her intention to conduct an inquiry on Enrile's release of funds for maintenance and other operating expenditures, or MOOE, last December. In a letter to Commission on Audit Chairperson Grace Pulido Tan, Santiago disagreed with the COA statement that Enrile had the authority to realign savings into Christmas bonuses. She said Tan's explanation would be used in an inquiry by the Senate Committee on Revision of Codes and Laws. Santiago added that Tan's reply could also serve as basis for bringing a case questioning Enrile's action in the Supreme Court. Santiago's letter came a day after Enrile made a motion to declare vacant the Senate presidency, a move that 11 senators rejected and only 2 others supported. Enrile, on the other hand, challenged Santiago to file a case before the Supreme Court if she really thinks he committed grave abuse of discretion in the distribution of Senate funds to senators last December. Enrile, meantime, urged Santiago to file a case instead of bringing the issue to the media.
If that's a grave abuse of discretion, then she can file a case before the Supreme Court if she wants. That is the best thing to do. Instead of just let it hang, and the people do not know these things.
For GNN, Precious Aquino, News Force.
Justice Secretary Laila De Lima confirmed Wednesday that another eyewitness was ready to testify over the Atimonan incident on January 6, which killed 13 men. De Lima noted that the third witness was already under the Witness Protection Program and was expected to give a testimony that would help the investigation. Meantime, De Lima refused to comment on the reports, saying the National Bureau of Investigation had not held the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission liable in the Atimoran incident. De Lima added the final copy of the investigation has not yet been released and that NBI is still examining the case. Malacanang said the 2014 deadline set by the Aquino administration for the full implementation of the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program, or CARP, cannot be met. She said, however, that the government can still process after 2014 the claims of farmers who have obtained their notices for land distribution. It can be recalled that in June 2012, President Aquino promised to distribute lands covered by agrarian reform and had approved the setting up of a multi-sectoral organization that will strictly monitor and ensure CARP's full implementation by June of 2013.
2014, ipoprocess pa rin po yung kanilang papers on their ownership. We will have to get exact details kung ano po yung kanilang mga sinasabi na kinancel daw po yung title. I'm sure that the DAR will be happy to shed light on those incidents if true.
This just in, Manuel Amalillo, head of investment scam company Aman Futures, has been nabbed in Kota Kinabalu, Malaysia on Tuesday. Amalillo escaped to Malaysia in 2012 after he and 9 others were ordered to be arrested in Pagadian City. His company was implicated to a 12 billion peso scam from 15,000 investors. A retired Canadian journalist shot dead 2 people before shooting himself during a hearing at a Cebu City Court Tuesday morning. The suspect was identified as John Pope. Police investigation revealed the shooting incident started during the suspect's hearing. Based on the police report, the suspect pulled out a gun and shot a lawyer and a physician who filed a case against him. One of the fatalities was initially identified as attorney Julian Assis. The other victim was Dr. Rene Raffles, who was one of the complainants in a case filed against Pope. Pentagon declares Al-Qaeda as prime suspect in Algeria attack. Mila Kunis stalker ordered to spend 6 months in rehab. These and more stories when News Force returns.